Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Crypto Daily. Today, we're going to talk about ATMs opening up across the world. We've got some news about one opening up in Kosovo. How many do you have near you? I think you'd be surprised. If you use Coinbase, potentially don't use it on holiday. Potentially get your account blocked. So we'll have a look at some of the countries that you can't use it in. The London Stock Exchange has announced plans to use a blockchain in selling and buying shares. Is that a good thing? I think so. It's some interesting ideas. And lastly, what to do in preparation for the Bitcoin Cash hard fork. Basically, keep your private keys. So having a look at the market today, again, not very much movement at all. Everything very steady at the moment. Very, very little gains, percentiles. The only one that kind of pops out to me this morning is Vertasium. It took a flash crash last night. It went from about 240 all the way down to about $130. It's recovered now, it's back to 200, but there's always potential profit to be made by having these low lures, because you never know which whale is just going to come in and dump all of their money. I don't know why they do it. Maybe they needed to pay their rent. Maybe they needed to buy a new Lambo. I don't know, but these happen. So sometimes it's just worth having a lure set so you can pick up some discounted coins, basically. We are still at the 94 billion market cap. We were at 95 yesterday, I think. We haven't recovered back to 100. I'm wondering if that's because of the hard fork coming up in November. I expect we'll be back to 100 before then. So Kosovo has opened up its first Bitcoin ATM. The government warns if you use digital currencies, you might lose your money. Thanks for the great warning. The fact that it's opening up and that it's been recognized by the government is good. The more countries that have Bitcoin ATMs, the better. Now, there's this website to check how many that you've got in yours. Coin ATM Radar. Now, very interestingly, I live in the UK. There are 71 ATMs in the UK for Bitcoin. The majority, obviously, are in London. About 51 of those 71 ATMs are located in London. But there's one or two in pretty much all of the rest of the big cities in the UK. So that's pretty cool. The more the better. Coinbase's customer support is at it again. This is a story of a man who went to Cuba on holiday. And while he was in the airport, just logged into his Coinbase app on his phone, didn't do any trading, didn't do any buying. He just had a look at his account balance, closed the app. When he got home, he got an email notification saying his Coinbase account was being closed. That means he would lose all of his money that he had in the account just because he went to a country that Coinbase didn't have legal authority to operate in. Some other countries that Coinbase is not legally allowed to operate in include Iran, Syria, North Korea, and of course, Cuba. So I don't expect any of my viewers are going to have a holiday in North Korea, but if you do, don't log into your Coinbase app. One person decided to take this a bit further. He had his account closed because he went on holiday, and he continued to ask Coinbase to release his funds, but with no digital response, he stepped it up by a formal demand. When that wasn't met, he filed a lawsuit. And what he was saying was that while the money that he had locked up in his closed account wasn't a big deal to him, basically, there are others who it potentially could be a very huge deal. So he was fighting the fight for everyone who potentially couldn't afford to take legal action. He's asking for people who have had their Coinbase account closed because of this reason to forward him their complaints so that he can use it in the lawsuit. Since then, he's had his account reopened because Coinbase is not wanting to go to court, but they didn't give him the opportunity to talk about the other accounts that have been closed for the same issue, so he hasn't dropped the lawsuit as of today. But good going to him. I respect that. Coinbase have said that the issue is they've had the growth explode. It's gone over 10 times what they had from this time last year. So they are woefully unprepared, understaffed in their customer support. Their plans are to double their customer support in the next 6 to 8 weeks, including having phone support. Is it too little, too late? No, probably not. As long as they keep hiring, keeping up with demand, they should be fine. Coinbase is huge. So the London Stock Exchange plans to open up the ability to buy and sell shares using a blockchain. The reasons that they've stated they want to do this is because it lowers overheads and administration costs. Now, the only risk that they potentially could open the floodgates to is volatility. So a lot of the volatility we see in cryptocurrencies is because it's so easy to buy and sell, meaning it's so easy for people to just rush out the door when things are crashing because their money is so liquid. It can move in and out. It can be whatever it wants to be. With the current system for stock market buying and selling the shares, it's a lot more, shall we say, long term, because it's difficult to buy and sell and there are fees involved and it takes time. So people usually invest currently in shares for a longer period. That could change, however, when it becomes super quick to just sell. So they could see some increased volatility, just as we see in cryptocurrencies. Things could move a lot faster, which in my mind it is still a positive thing. But yeah, that's potentially only one little negative for them doing this. How to keep your private keys. Really important. So this post on Reddit, the user talks about the Bitcoin Cash hard fork and what to do to keep your coins. If you have them on a exchange, there is a good chance that you are not going to get access to the hard fork coins. Now, what I mean by that, when Bitcoin hard forks, you'll essentially have the same amount of Bitcoin that you currently have, but on the new fork as well. So you'll have, let's say you have 2 Bitcoins currently. Come the hard fork, you'll still have your 2 Bitcoins, and then you'll have 2 Bitcoin Cash coins. What the value of those Bitcoin Cash coins is going to be is most likely a lot lower than the current valuation for Bitcoin, but it would still have some value. Especially if you're using Coinbase, they have no plans to support Bitcoin Cash. They are not allowing you to have access to it. If you keep your Bitcoins on Coinbase, take them off before August 1st. It's just free money that you're losing. Keep them on a device where you have access to the private keys. And there's a list here. I'll put a link to it in the description. How to store your Bitcoins, how to keep your private keys. For me personally, I'm interested in investing in Bitcoin Cash because I like what they're doing. If I like it, there are a ton of other people that like it. So there will be some value. They will be valuable to a certain degree. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.